Hello everyone, my name is Lawrence and thank you so much for watching my channel, a channel that talks about investing in the stock market and also financial independence. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing such that you don't miss other videos like this. In my journey to financial independence, I've read about many successful people in investment world, both the known and unknown. And actually, I've discovered they have some similar areas or sectors in which they invest. And what is surprising, actually, I found 3 specific sectors in which most of all, if not all, invest. So I thought I could share with you, if you're also in a process of investing or in a journey of financial independence, I would like to share those 3 areas or sectors in which successful people invest, such that if you're out there also, you can learn 1, 2 to 3 things, because personally I've learned a lot of things from reading and also watching videos from those people that have succeeded. So let us start by outlining those 3 areas that I'm going to be sharing with you. Number 1 is business. Second is real estate, and third is stock market. So those are the 3 specific areas in which all, in fact, investors that have succeeded have invested in. So number 1, most, if not all, investors own business, or they are innovators, or they are founders of the business. Let us take, for example, the common or the known global investors. Number 1 is Warren Buffett. Actually, if you read about Warren Buffett, when he was young, he did small businesses, like he used to vend newspapers. He also used to sell the Coca-Cola cans to make money before owning one of the largest companies in the world, Berkshire Hathaway. So that is 1. Second, you can talk of the Mark Zuckerberg. Actually, before Facebook became a global brand, it also started small in his apartment where he was starting when he was still a student of Harvard University. Talk about the Jack Ma. He also, when he was starting Alibaba, it started as a small company, his own business, before becoming a global brand. When you come to Africa, you can talk of Dangote, who owns actually several business under Dangote conglomerate. He owns sugars, cement. Actually, now he's constructing oil, so he owns business. When you talk of another African renowned billionaire, you can talk of Strive Masiwa, originally from Zimbabwe. He owns one of the telecom companies, which is Econet. And also he owns other businesses. So when you talk of the East Africa, where he originated from, you can talk of Sudhir from Uganda. He owns several businesses, from hotels, from apartments, from radios. When you go to Kenya, you can talk of the Ndegwa families who own banks. So even known to unknown people, you could even refer from people from your areas. You'll find most of the rich people own businesses. So number 1, if you want to become financially independent, or if you want to be successful in your own right, at least you have to start some kind of businesses. So another question is business easy to start? I can simply say it is easy, but what is hard is to make a profitable business and also growing a business. From my experience, because I've done at least 1 to 2 businesses, some have failed and others have succeeded. I can give like 1 to 2 ideas on how you can start a business, or what it takes to start a business. Number 1, anyone may predict that it is finance. Actually, finance comes to second or third when it comes to one of the things that you need to start a successful business. Because if you read most of the investors, they did not own money in the beginning, but what they started with was idea. Number one, most important thing if you want to start a business is generating an idea. So how can you get an idea? One is, if you're educated, you can get from ideas from your profession. If you're an accountant, you can start maybe accounting firm. If you're an engineer, you can start an engineering firm. If you studied agriculture, you can do farming. So one, you can start from your profession. Second is, you can look around from what are the problems people are experiencing, and you want to solve the problems. A third is from the passion. Maybe you like sports, you can start maybe a sports shop. You like coffee, you like cooking, you can start a restaurant. So also passion, you can start something that you love. Third is information. Information is very, very also important when you want to start a company. For example, where you work. Now we have a lot of sources of information. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Google, as long as you have access to internet. Another thing, of course, you can't underestimate is capital. Capital can be in idea or finance. So you may have a lot of money, but you fail in business because you don't have the other I mentioned. So finance is very, very important, especially if you want to scale up or if you want to start a bigger business. But if you don't have money, you can start small when you have an idea as you grow slowly. So that is one thing you must do if you want to be successful. It doesn't actually mean you have to be the biggest billionaires. You can be financially independent even if you're not bigger in terms of finance. But what matters is becoming financially independent, and you can also solve your daily life issues. So that is one. Second area or sector where most of the billionaires, most of the richest people invest their money is real estate. Actually, when I first heard the word real estate, I got scared because I used to think it's something very big, but we can divide it actually in several sectors. We can talk of housing, you can talk of land, you can talk of brokers, or you can classify them as real estate. So if you're a small investor or you earn less like me, you can invest in real estate by buying land. For example, you can buy land from a small plot to a bigger plot depending on how much you have. So if you talk of the world-renowned billionaires, like the one Buffett that I normally follow, actually before becoming a billionaire, he also bought land of about 900 hectares, which he used to lease to get some money. So real estate is very important, especially if you have a business. You need another kind of investment that does not take much of your time. For example, if you have money and you construct maybe a hotel, you construct an apartment for rent houses, or you own land and you lease it, the time you will need to manage such kind of asset is different from the time you will need to manage the business. So you can say it's semi-passive income. That's why real estate is very important. If you have a business, you can also buy something that does not take much of your time in terms of management. For example, if you own land and you don't want to practice, for example, agriculture, you can visit somewhere so that they can pay some kind of annual fees to those people who are using it. So if you also have rent houses, you can also rent it, and also it needs minimum maintenance. That's how you can also invest in your estate. Personally, of course, I also have land. I've bought land. So I use it for me. I've planted these trees. So You can use, if you buy land, you can use it in different ways. And also if you have more money, you can also buy plot of land and construct. So like land, all the SDO estate, how it can make you money is by buying in specific locations. Not every area can make you money, because for example, you may buy in a place that will never develop. So for example, if you need to buy land also, you have to check some specific things. For example, location. Location is very important, because you may buy land in an area and it doesn't appreciate because nothing much is happening. You have to check also and study the area what is likely to happen in the near future, because development is the one that makes land appreciate in value. Also, if you construct, you need to construct somewhere where you think maybe 5 or 10 years something will happen, development or road construction or anything that will make your property appreciate in value. That is another. The third area or a sector where the richest people invest is stock market. One of my favorite topics that I normally talk about. The reason why I talk about stock market, there are two easy things. One is whether you're rich or poor, you can invest in stock market. And the second, you can own world-class company at cheaper price. Imagine owning a Facebook company with less than $200. Actually, all other companies, most of the big companies, they are on stock market. You can own it if you take the right process of owning those companies. Talk of Google, talk of Apple, talk of Samsung. So when you come to Africa, you can own one of the largest telecom companies. Talk of MTN. Actually also Airtel, which is also a big brand in Africa, has been listed on some other exchanges. When you talk of banking sector, you can own one of the biggest banking group, Abisa. There are very many actual also banks that you can also own in Africa, because they are listed on several stock exchanges. So you can check in your area which companies are listed on exchange. You also start investing. If you're not familiar with the stock market, this channel basically mainly talks about stock market, how you can invest in stock market. So you can check some of my videos on how you can invest in stock market. So when you talk of the big millionaires, billionaires, all of them actually, most of them, they are invested in stock market. Talk of Bill Gates, he owns some shares in Apple, he owns shares in Coca-Cola. Talk about Warren Buffett, apart from owning his own company, Berkshire Hathaway, he's one of the largest owners of shares in Apple. He owns airlines, he owns banking. So he's the single largest billionaire who has made money mainly in owning shares of companies. When you talk of African investors, most of them, apart from owning companies, they also own shares in several companies. When you come to Uganda, we have Sudiri, who is the richest person in Uganda. He owns shares in many banking sectors. Talk of DFCU. He also owns shares in Umeme. Talk of also Bitature, who's from Uganda. He owns also shares in Umeme. So many rich people own shares. And if you don't have enough money, stock market is one of the avenues where you can own world-class company at lower prices, because with $100, even less than $100, you can buy shares in most of the big companies. For example, in East Africa, world over, you can own world-class companies with even over $200. So that's how easy it is to own shares of a company, even if you don't have a lot of money. So those are the three mainly the sectors or areas where most rich people invest their money. So you might be wondering, Lawrence, you have not talked about employment. So should I leave my job and go start a business or invest in real estate or stock market? The answer is no. Actually, if you read about these, most of the successful investors or billionaires, at one time they were employees. For example, Jack Ma, he was a teacher. When you talk of Strive Masiwa, who's originally from Zimbabwe, he was an engineer in one of the companies. When you talk of Warren Buffett, he was an employee in one of the firms which was owned by the Graham, who is called the father of value investing. So at one time they were employees. So you also need to work because you need to finance yourself. You don't have money. Actually, employment can give you two things. One, it can give you capital. Second, it can give you experience on how to manage your business. Also, it can also give you ideas on how they do business, so that you can, when you go to start a business, you can also apply the knowledge and also skills you have learned from where you are working to your own business. Because if you follow most of the people, mainly they normally start businesses in the fields in which they're working. So it's very, very important to have a job and also learn something that you can apply in your real life, because to be honest, jobs will never be there. Like during this period, I'm very sure many people have lost jobs. So where is the next step? So you have to at least work as also run something, 1, 2 to 3 things. As also when you start business, you can also apply those skills that you have learned in a business to take to your own business. So basically those are the ideas that I can give. If you have anything, if you have any comment, if you have any question, please leave a comment down in the comment section, such that if you have any topic you want me to talk about, I will talk about it. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.